a concrete staircase in the Oregon wilderness, climbing to nothing. A perfect hexagon carved into Nevada basalt, visible only from orbit. Petroglyphs 3,500 years old, which no known civilization claims. Forests across 4 continents are hiding some of the strangest things ever documented, and most of them remain completely unexplained. The first set of steps surfaced in December 2017. The Oregon staircase stands out for its stark design and stubborn presence. Discovered in December 2017, these concrete steps climb a mossy slope in Willamette National Forest, ending at bare earth with no sign of a building or platform. Dr. Ellen McAllister, a specialist with the United States Forest Service, reviewed the site and traced the construction to the mid-1970s. She points to a Forest Service manual from that era, which details soil stabilization projects that often left behind isolated stair sets after trails or roads were rerouted. Hikers passing through sometimes describe an odd echo or a sense of dislocation. But the records show a practical, bureaucratic origin, one of many unfinished public works scattered across American woodlands. Thousands of kilometers away, a different kind of staircase rises from the forest floor in Mindanao, Philippines. Ranger Luis Santos first documented the stone steps in 2024 near a patrol road in Mount Sambayan Forest Reserve. The structure, 3 meters high and ending at a collapsed wall, bears the marks of early 20th century masonry. Local stories claim the stairs once led to a hidden shrine used by tribal communities for rituals. Yet the Philippine Department of Environment and Natural Resources holds no official record of the site. Ranger Santos suspects the steps are the last trace of a watchtower route, gradually swallowed by the jungle as priorities shifted and the forest reclaimed the land. On the other side of the Pacific, timber steps cut through a ridge in Shenandoah National Park, Virginia. These rough-hewn planks, fastened with iron nails, were first reported in a 2023 hiker's thread near the Stony Man Overlook. The top step ends abruptly above a drop, with no sign of a lookout or shelter. Mark Daniels, a historian for the National Park Service, traced their origin to a 1938 Civilian Conservation Corps blueprint for a fire watch tower that was never built. Archival files confirm the stairs were installed as part of the initial plan, then abandoned when the project stalled. Now, hikers find only the steps, weathered and half-hidden, a reminder of how forest mysteries often begin as practical projects left unfinished. 3 staircases, 3 continents, 3 explanations, bureaucratic, folkloric, and archival, each shaped by the intersection of human ambition and nature's slow erasure. Yet these are only the beginning. Across the world, forests hold more structures that seem to defy explanation, each one raising new questions about what gets built, what gets forgotten, and what stories survive in the quiet between the trees. Stone steps rise from the scree fields beneath Mount Rundle, their flagstone surfaces worn smooth by decades of alpine weather. In Banff National Park, these stairs climb toward nothing, no shelter, no lookout, just a sudden end at the edge of a windswept slope. Dr. Sophie Tremblay, a researcher with Parks Canada, has spent years tracing the origins of these mountain structures. She points to a Parks Canada map from the 1960s that shows a proposed ski access road snaking up the same ridge. The plan, part of a wider push to turn Banff into a winter tourism hub, called for a network of service paths and temporary equipment routes. Only fragments were ever built. When the ski area proposal was abandoned after a major landslide, the stone stairs remained, cut off from any practical use. Tremblay notes that their alpine craftsmanship, large flat stones set into the hillside, matches the style used for backcountry ski shelters of the era, but here the stairs serve only as a reminder of ambitions overtaken by the mountain's shifting slopes. Half a world away, another staircase lies hidden in the eucalypt forests of Kosciuszko National Park, New South Wales. In 1952, a field team from the New South Wales National Parks and Wildlife Service documented red brick steps climbing a steep alpine slope, capped with mortar and ending abruptly at a collapsed footing. The bricks, standard 190mm terracotta, fired hot and laid in English bond, were meant to withstand harsh winters. Jessica Lee, a heritage architect, examined the site in 2023 and confirmed its construction during the post-war push for alpine ski infrastructure. Archival files revealed that the staircase was built for ski patrol access to a snowshoot, part of a network designed to draw tourists into the high country. But when the Snowy River flooded in 1954, the adjacent footbridge washed away, leaving the stairs stranded. By March 1955, the route was declared unsafe and abandoned. Today, the red brick steps are half buried in wildflowers and alpine grass, a monument to plans interrupted by nature and the shifting fortunes of mountain tourism. Both the Banff stone steps and the Kosciuszko brick staircase tell a story of human ambition meeting the realities of wild landscapes. They stand as silent evidence of projects started with optimism and left unfinished by circumstance, reminders that forests and mountains often outlast the dreams built within them. Hidden in a pine forest near Kassel, a World War II bunker slumps under moss and fallen needles. Its reinforced concrete, poured in 1943, still shows the grid of rebar and the rough imprint of pine board forms. RG-77 archives, dated February 1943, list this site as a communications relay for a Wehrmacht training ground, built with a gravel mix unique to the region. The bunker's angled blast wall and faded ventilation shaft confirm its military purpose, though no official markings remain. A hatch fragment, analyzed under tool mark microscopy, reveals steel chisel traces matching the Wehrmacht's field kit. Graffiti from the 1970s overlays wartime stencils, a palimpsest of curiosity and neglect. Far to the southwest, an aspen corridor in northern New Mexico holds a quieter record. Maria Soto, a local historian, began documenting arbor-glyphs here in 2018. Tree trunks are carved with initials, compasses, and cryptic sigils. The corridor follows a disused fire break, with marks on trees both ancient and young. Dendrochronology and lichenometry date the oldest carvings to over 80 years, while most are less than 20. The University of Manitoba's Conservation Lab used high-resolution microscopy to examine the cuts. Shallow incisions come from modern steel awls, but deeper weathered grooves match early 20th century logging tools. The evidence spans generations, blurring the line between folklore and heritage, and leaving the intent behind the marks unresolved. On a limestone outcrop beside Lake of the Woods, 27 panels of pictographs, concentric circles, and stylized human forms cling to the rock. A University of Manitoba survey in 2004 mapped the site, noting none of the motifs matched known Ojibwe patterns. Sediment from a crevice beneath the main panel, dated by optically stimulated luminescence, points to an age of 1,200 years, with a margin of 3 centuries. Microscopy reveals flint burin marks, not metal blades, suggesting ancient hands at work. The pictographs' meaning remains elusive, but their presence hints at a long tradition of movement through these woods. A canyon wall in California's eastern Sierra holds a record older than any staircase or bunker. Geometric chevrons and arrowheads carved into basalt and hidden for centuries by brush came into view after a flash flood in 2015. Dr. Laura Mendoza, an archaeologist with the University of Nevada, led the first systematic study of these petroglyphs. Her team used uranium series dating on calcite overgrowth and measured an age of 3,500 years, give or take 4 centuries. The motifs echo some Paiute hunting signs, but others defy classification. Lines double back and intersections form no known pattern. Portable XRF analysis of the rock shows no trace of metal tools, only the mineral signature left by stone chisels. For Dr. Mendoza, these engravings are both message and mystery, a record of ancient hands at work, preserved by the slow chemistry of mineral deposits and the luck of a storm that cleared the view. The spectrum of forest enigmas stretches from these oldest marks to signs that could only exist in the digital age. In 2023, a hexagon appeared on satellite imagery of a Nevada ridge 30 meters across, traced in pale lines atop a basalt slab. Myron Cook, a hobbyist explorer, posted the coordinates on a crowdsourcing forum. No trail leads to the spot, and no land management unit lists it in official records. When Cook visited, he found the shape incised with a rotary tool, its edges too precise for natural fracture. Portable XRF scans revealed no metal residue, but the striations matched the profile of modern carbide bits. The hexagon's purpose remains unknown, an unsanctioned art piece, a coded signal, or simply a provocation for the next wave of online sleuths. The discovery sparked debate about whether to share such coordinates at all, with some arguing that publicity invites vandalism or erases the very mystery that drew people in. From a petroglyph wall that is 3,500 years old to a satellite-spotted hexagon less than a year old, the forest continues to absorb and reveal human traces across millennia. Each find, ancient or recent, raises questions about what should be uncovered, what should remain hidden, and how the line between documentation and intrusion is drawn in the wild. Even now, forests shield more than just wildlife. They hold secrets shaped by time, war, and human hands. As urban expansion and climate change erase these sites, every unexplained find becomes a vanishing clue. Sometimes all it takes is the courage to look closer.